In this video we are applying epoxy to a garage floor, showing the process from start to finish. The existing paint is in poor condition and is peeling in some areas. The first step is to remove old paint, which we do using a grinder with a 7-inch diamond cup wheel. For the edges around the floor, we use 4.5-inch diamond cup wheel. Next, we pressure wash and rinse the floor to remove any dust. After mixing the 2-part epoxy primer, we pour it onto the floor and spread it evenly with the roller. For areas the roller can't reach, we use a disposable brush to apply the epoxy. The following day after the primer has dried, we apply build coat. The reason we apply build coat is that we are not using decorative chips, which normally help hide imperfections on the floor. The build coat will help us cover any surface imperfections. Once the epoxy is poured onto the floor, we use a rubber squeegee to spread it, and then we use a roller to even it out further. While using the roller, we go over each section a couple of times, rolling in different directions to ensure there are no lines or streaks. The next day, after the build coat has dried, we apply the final coat. This is done similar to the first two coats, but with one difference. For the final coat, we use a tray and we dip the roller in the epoxy. The reason we apply it from the tray is because the finish coat epoxy has a much longer work time. For the first two coats, we had about 30 minutes of work time before the epoxy started to set and become unusable. If left in a bucket or tray, it would harden quickly, so we had to pour it directly onto the floor. However, the final coat epoxy has much slower drying time, giving us approximately 2 hours of work time, which is why we use the tray. And this is how the garage floor looked before we started and after we finished.